What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 74, everybody. I'm going to mix it up from my first 4 weeks of content here. I'm going to jump into my kickers and defenses, top 10 each plus one streamer here in this episode, because I feel like when I drop this at the end of the week, it just gives you guys a later time to see the video and look at the defenses and kickers for the waiver wire coming tonight at midnight. So I'm switching it up here. I'm doing the defense and kickers early here this time. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn that bell on. I will be live Thursday and Friday. I will be heading out of town Saturday for the Niner game this week, so I will not have any shows Saturday or Sunday. I will be watching Kyler Murray versus Brock Purdy. I can't wait to see the game, guys. If you want to check out my quarterback rankings and my waiver wire top 10, they are out. And let's dive into it, guys. So here is my board for the kickers, guys. You will not see the ballers tier used at all. I will use tier 1 and tier 2 for my top 10 kickers. Tier 3 will be both my streamers. I'm going to give you one streamer each for each kickers and defensive side. And then tier 4 and tier 5 will be my top 10 defenses heading into the week here. Now at the bottom, don't worry about these teams at the bottom and players at the bottom. These are players that are off my board from last week, so that's them moving out of the top 10. Now, heading into the kicker side here, what I look for in kicker matchup, guys, is powerful offenses and great defenses. So when I'm looking at the matchup here, I mean, this guy is going to be number one every single week either way. Brandon Aubrey is a legit fantasy football weapon. But what you also get here is you get the Steelers defense. So how many times are the Cowboys really going to find the end zone here against one of the top defenses in the NFL? Not a lot. And this guy can kick from 60, 70, 80. I want to see him kick a 75-yarder, man. This guy has an absolute cannon. He has been an absolute fantasy football weapon. And going up against the Steelers here at Pittsburgh is going to be a game where I think you kick a lot more field goals than you find the end zone. And Aubrey could have another Brandon Aubrey splash big day here. For number 2, Kaimi Fairbairn. Now, you get the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be a shootout game here, guys. I'm hoping so. I thought the Ravens game would be as well. I thought that was a weird aberration. I think if you ran that back, the Bills would play that a little differently. And now you're going to get a game here at home where they're going to need to be scoring points at will, kicking from everywhere. He's been money from 50 yards besides one time. Kaimi Fairbairn should be a solid play this week of a 10-plus point kicker again. Number 3, this is gold now. Jake Moody had 2 games where the offense was missing the Avengers. I call the Avengers. I'm a 49er fan. I call Debo, Kittle, everybody the Avengers. They have so many stars. Now you get the Arizona Cardinals, guys. The Arizona Cardinals just gave up 42 points to the Washington Commanders. This should be a high, heavy scoring game here for the 49ers and tons of field goal attempts against a very bad defense with a high-powered offense. And that's what you look for in kickers here. Number 4, one of the guys I talked about last week that you should be picking up off the waiver wire in my defense video was Young Wei Koo. And look what happened, man. 20-plus points, hits the game winner, gives the Falcons, might have saved their season with that kick too, man. 1-3 would have been really rough to bury out of a hole here. Now you get Koo up in a divisional matchup here versus Tampa Bay Thursday Night Football. And Tampa Bay's defense gives up points. They're going to be at home. They're going to be in the dome. That's one of the things you like for a kicker as well. And Young Wei Koo is my number 4 kicker heading into this week. Number 5, old man Justin Tucker. Finally gets a matchup here and where I think you're going to see a lot more kicking. The Bengals defense is stingy in the red zone. And this is going to be a big, big game for both teams here. The Bengals finally got their first win. The Ravens are back to 500 after the 0-2 start. And I think you're going to see a lot of Evan McPherson and Justin Tucker in this game. So I'm going to put them both up here. He's number 6 on my board as well here. And I think it's going to be a heavy dose of kicking game here. Both defenses are ranked in the top 10 in the red zone too here as well. So that's another thing you look for in kickers is you look for the guys that lock it up in the red zone. That means more kicking opportunity. Number 7, I should have talked about with Kaimi Fairbairn, Tyler Bass at the same time. Same thing here. Shootout game coming. Pass defense very weak for the Texans. A lot of points, but the Texans, again, they stingy up in the red zone here. So this could be another Tyler Bass, Kaimi Fairbairn big kick game here. I like both these kickers for 10-plus points this week. Number 8, The Seattle Seahawks just woke up against a very good team. I thought they were frauds, right? So I thought they had played, Bo Nix, Jacoby Myers, and Skylar Thompson at quarterback, and that's why they were winning their games. They showed up against the Detroit Lions, although they found the end zone every single time. That's not going to happen every single game. You're going to need kicking points there as well. They were just playing catch up with the Lions the whole time here. Now they get the New York Giants guys at home. Danny Dimes is going to be in for a rough showing against that Seattle secondary, and the opportunity should be massive here. It should be more. And we don't even know if Malik Neighbors is going to be out there either. So if Neighbors isn't even out there, this could go up even more. I could move my rankings here, probably like 5 or 6 range here if Neighbors isn't out there as well. Number 9, and I don't know what to do here with this one, man. The Chiefs have lost Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown. Their offense is still going to be ran through Travis Kelce here, but man, I feel like they're going to be losing. I have Patrick Mahomes down, and I have Patrick Mahomes down because I think he'll still take him down the field, but you're going to need Harrison Butker more involved here. I had Harrison Butker really high last week, and it was really, really ugly versus the Chargers, man. And I think it's going to be ugly from here on out, but that's kind of a plus for the, Harrison side because it's uglier. You could see more kicking game here, but man, he might be dropping out of my top 10 next week, depending on what happens with the Chiefs roster here. Number 10, Chris Boswell. And again, what you look for is defenses that get you the ball back. That is what the Steelers do. Their defense is absolutely lights out. Justin Fields looked electric in week 4. He almost put the comeback of the century on, put the whole team on his back. And I like this game here against Dallas at home. I think Dallas is going to be stymied a lot by the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and they're going to have a lot of opportunities, and the Cowboys defense has been really bad. So you could be really moving the ball here very well in this game, and you should see a lot of attempts from Chris Boswell in this game as well. Now, that's my top 10 kicker rankings. If I had to give you one streamer for the kickers, it's going to be Chase McLaughlin. And it's going to be the same game as Young Ho Koo Thursday Night Football. If you need a kicker, like your kicker's on a bye, again, you have the Colts, or not the Colts, you have the Chargers, you have the Lions, you have the Eagles, and you have the Titans that are all out. So if you're missing, say, one of the kickers from those teams, I'm fine with Chase McLaughlin being thrown in here because he's getting a lot of kicking attempts on a high-powered offense, and it's a division game. Division games are usually close, and it's a big game between the Falcons and the Bucks here. Now, heading down to my top 10 defenses of the week, 49ers defense, man, 27 points. Fred Warner with the pick 6. You get the Arizona Cardinals. And I know the Arizona Cardinals didn't have Trey McBride out there last week, but they struggled versus the worst defense in the NFL. Now you're going to go up against a juggernaut 49ers defense. This is going to be very, very tough for Kyler Murray this week. And you're going to be at San Francisco. Like I said, I'm going to be at this game. I can't wait to see this game. And my 49ers defense is going to be number 1. Chicago Bears, man, allowing 7 points on the season to the quarterback position. I like Andy Dalton for the breakout, to come back, be the breakout player that he is, that I thought he would be. I called the Deontay Johnson breakout. Not this game. At Chicago, Bears defense going to be rocking at Soldier Field. Andy Dalton's going to be in for a tough matchup here. This is the first defense he's playing that's really, really top-notch, and I don't like it this week. Number 3, this team is just impressing over and over and over. So the Denver Broncos, they get the Las Vegas Raiders. Looks like you might not even have Devontae Adams out there. Looks like trade rumors are swirling. His hamstring, he doesn't want to play another game for the Raiders. So this would be an absolute smash play at home for Denver with no Devontae Adams out there. I love this play a ton. They're getting after the quarterback. They get sacks. They have the number 1 lockdown corner in Pat Surtain right now, and they're moving, man. This is a great pickup this week of defense. Number 4, the Miami Dolphins. So here's what's crazy, guys. The Miami Dolphins have had 0 quarterback play for the past 2 weeks without Tua out there, but yet they're still 3rd versus the quarterback on the season, averaging 8.8 points. And now they get a game against Jacoby Brissett. I don't even care if it's at New England. He's been absolutely terrible. And the Dolphins are actually sneaky. They're my top 5 good defensive play this week. Number 5, the Seattle Seahawks. Like I said, they get Danny Dimes. They're at the 12th man. This defense, they just played Detroit. Detroit's offense is a juggernaut, man. And they played pretty well. So I'm going to bounce back here on Seattle and say they have a big showing here against Danny Dimes at home. And they're my number 5 defense on the week. Number 6, and I didn't think this would be here. This is the Minnesota Vikings. So they are currently right now 13th versus the quarterback, giving up 15 points. But they play Aaron Rodgers, and if you just saw what Aaron Rodgers did to Denver, How can you not like the Minnesota Vikings defense this week? I mean, Aaron Rodgers just struggled. The entire Jets offense was shambles. I like the Minnesota defense as number 6 this week. Number 7 is going to be the Green Bay Packers. And this is one of my favorite ones here as well. You get the LA Rams, and Matt Stafford has just been brutally, like, I feel so bad for Stafford. He has none of his stars out there at wide receiver. You're missing Kupp, you're missing Nakua. You're running out there with Demarcus Robinson, Whittington, and Tutu Atwell. The Packers defense was number 1 in takeaways till this week. So, till week 4, this is an absolute great play here. Even with, I really don't like to play defenses against Matt Stafford. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's a very smart quarterback. But in the situation with nothing out there, I'm going to put Green Bay at number 7 this week. Number 8, we're going to stick with the Vikings game here. I'm going to go with the Jets defense because they have DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. Their corners are absolute lockdown. You're going to see Jettas in for a tough game here. And I think they're in for a big bounce back after getting embarrassed by the Denver Broncos in week 2. But here's what you have to look at as well. The New York Jets defense, guys, only gives up 8.6 points to the quarterback on the season. That ranks 2nd. They are lights out. Absolute lights out defense. They just need to figure it out on the offensive side of the ball, and they're going to be a playoff contending team here. And number 9, I'm going to stick with the Broncos game. This is what you look for in defenses, is bad offenses. And what is the Broncos offense? Absolutely terrible. But somehow they're 2-2 on the season, which is crazy to me. But now you get Bo Nix. The Raiders defense is ranked 17th versus the quarterback, 15.9. Again, if Devontae Adams isn't out there, it does hurt their offense, probably slows down, a couple of drives they could have with him out there. But still, I think this is going to be a division rival grunge game, just like you watched with the Jets Broncos. Probably going to be like 13-10, really low scoring. Both these defenses are great plays this week. Number 10, Monday Night Football. And this is Kansas City Chiefs. This is their game right here. This is where the defense has to show up 100%. Their offense has been really, really slow without, missing both their wide receivers right now. With Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown look like their seasons are both over. And you're going to get the Saints at home. And it's going to be one of those games where I just feel like the defense at Arrowhead is going to be rocking, and the Saints offense has been kind of a struggle since the first 2 weeks. So I like the Saints defense as my number 10 defense this week. Now, and I'm going to stick with the same game. If I had to pick a streamer, it's going to be the Saints defense here. And the Saints defense, guys, ranks 4th versus the quarterback, allowing 10.3 points per game, which is why I have Patrick Mahomes so low on my rankings this week. You're going to see other people rank him in the top 10. They're out of their mind. With no weapons the Kansas City Chiefs have, the Saints should be my number 10 ranked defense, but I'm playing the home field advantage here with Arrowhead. So if you need a streamer and they're on your wire, I am 100% okay with you picking up the New Orleans Saints and playing them as a solid defense this week. That is it for episode 74, everybody. That was my kicker and defense's top 10 rankings plus a streamer each. So if you guys, have any of those buys happening again, you can slot these guys in as great pickups this week. Before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you smash that subscription. Turn that bell on. All the support has been greatly appreciated. And again, guys, if you have any fantasy football comments, drop them in the comments below. It does not have to pertain to this video. I am here to help you win your weekly matchups and get you that ultimate goal of the championship. So, and again, guys, if you want to see my quarterback rankings, my waiver wire video is out. This is a jump in between from last week. So I usually do my kicker and defense at the end, but I wanted you guys to see it early. So the more views flow in, whatever it is, you guys can get that video before the waiver wire tonight, guys. And that's it for me, man. I'll catch you guys in my next video. I'll get my running back rankings out to you guys next, man. SleezBall out.